Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and felt something shift before anyone even said a word? Felt a pull or a push, and you couldn't quite explain why? Maybe it was someone's energy. Maybe it was your own. That right there is not coincidence. That's attraction in motion. Now, what if I told you this? Your mind, yes, your mind is a magnet. Every thought you think, every belief you carry, every word you whisper when no one's listening, it's either pulling something toward you or pushing something away. Sit with that. Because you're not just walking through life, you're drawing it in, moment by moment, person by person, blessing by blessing, or burden by burden. And most of it, you don't even realize you're doing it. See, we've been taught to work hard, to grind, to hustle, and that's fine. That has its place, but nobody tells you, nobody teaches you how powerful your mind really is, that you can be moving fast and still going in the wrong direction because your thoughts are chained to the wrong frequency. You want to know why the same kind of people keep showing up in your life? Why the same setbacks keep finding you? Why success feels like it's always one step out of reach? It's not just bad luck. It's not just the system. It's not just the economy. It's your magnet. And baby, your magnet is wired by your mind. You see, the thoughts you entertain, they're not just ideas, they're invitations. Every time you choose doubt, fear, bitterness, you send out a signal. Every time you choose faith, vision, discipline, you send out a different one. The world is listening, and it always delivers. Not always what you want, but always what you are. That's why we're here. Because tonight, this ain't just motivation. This ain't just another speech to hype you up and send you home the same way you came in. Nah. Tonight we're rewiring the magnet. Tonight we're going to look at what you've been attracting, and we're going to ask the question most folks are afraid to ask. What have I trained my mind to pull toward me? And what have I been unknowingly pushing away? Because once you get that, once you take hold of your magnet, your life will never look the same. Let's begin. Everything begins in thought. Long before you hold it in your hand, before you drive it, wear it, spend it, or stand on it, whatever it is, it starts in the mind. Every breakthrough, every heartbreak, every rise, every fall, a thought was planted. And that thought, it grew, quietly, invisibly, but relentlessly, until it became the life you now live. See, the law of attraction doesn't start in the bank account. It doesn't start in the job title. It doesn't even start in the relationships around you. It starts in that space between your ears, that small but mighty space that most people let run on autopilot. That's the battlefield. That's the birthplace. That's the blueprint. You don't attract what you wish for. You attract what you believe. And belief lives in thought. You could walk around repeating, I want to be successful all day long. But if your thoughts whisper, I'm not good enough, it's too late, people like me don't win, guess which voice the magnet listens to? It's not the one you say out loud. It's the one you say in silence. And thoughts don't just sit still. No, they move. They build. A single insecure thought can turn into a lifetime of self-sabotage. A single hopeful thought can turn into a vision so strong it bends the world in your direction. That's the power of thought. It's creative. Not creative like art on a wall. Creative like a force of nature. Like wind carving canyons. Like water shaping mountains. Your thoughts don't ask permission. They form reality. Now here's the thing. The magnet doesn't care if the thought is good or bad, true or false, light or dark. It just listens. It just pulls. You think scarcity, it pulls struggle. You think abundance, it pulls opportunity. You think revenge, it pulls chaos. You think love, it pulls peace. That's the law. That's the deal. That's the contract. You may not remember signing it, but you're living by it every single day. And let me tell you, most people don't even realize what they're attracting because they never slow down long enough to listen to themselves. They're too busy, too distracted, too reactive. They don't realize that the storm outside started with a storm inside. They don't realize that what they call bad luck is really just old thinking catching up to them. But when you finally wake up to this, when you see how much power you've always had, you can flip the switch. You can retrain the magnet. You can look at your life and say, I planted that. I built that. I attracted that. And if I don't like it, I can attract something different. It starts with awareness. Awareness of your thoughts, awareness of your patterns. Not to judge yourself, but to reclaim your power. Because the truth is, your thoughts are already working for you or against you. You're already manifesting. The question is, are you doing it on purpose or by accident? Start choosing your thoughts the way a sculptor chooses the next stroke. Carefully, intentionally, creatively. Because thought is the seed, and your life is just the harvest. Energy doesn't lie. You can say the right words, wear the right clothes, smile at the right time, but if your spirit isn't right, people can feel it, life can feel it. You can't fake the frequency you're operating on. You might fool a few people for a little while, but the universe? Nah. It responds to your being, not your performance. This is the part most people miss when they talk about attraction. They think it's just about thinking positive or repeating affirmations. But that's surface level. Attraction isn't about what you say. It's about what you emit, the energy you carry into a room, the way you make others feel, the vibration you live on, every day when no one's watching. You attract what you are, not what you pretend to be. If you walk around bitter, resentful, envious, even if you dress it up as ambition or confidence, what you're really sending out is conflict. You're broadcasting scarcity, and scarcity attracts struggle. You might be chasing opportunity, but your energy is pushing it away. And on the flip side, when you walk with peace, with confidence, not arrogance, but quiet assurance, when you walk with love, with purpose, even if you don't have the money yet, even if you don't have the title yet, you'll find that doors begin to open. People start to notice. Favor starts to follow you, because the frequency you're on becomes a magnet. Think about it. You've met people who don't say much, but their presence shifts the atmosphere. You've also met folks who never stop talking, but something just feels off. That's energy. That's alignment or misalignment. And life is always responding to it. Now here's the tough truth. If you keep attracting the wrong people, the wrong situations, the wrong outcomes, it's not always bad luck. Sometimes it's the energy you've normalized. If chaos keeps finding you, maybe you've built an identity around it. If betrayal keeps finding you, maybe you've accepted it as your story. If rejection keeps following you, maybe part of you expects it. And energy doesn't lie. It delivers what you deeply believe you deserve. So ask yourself, what's the energy I'm carrying every day? Not what do I want, not what do I say out loud, but what do I expect? What do I tolerate? What do I allow in my inner world? Because when you shift your energy, you shift your reality. When you heal the wounds, the patterns, the low vibrations, you stop attracting what hurts you and start pulling in what builds you. That's not magic. That's alignment. You become peace and peace finds you. You become love and love shows up. You become truth and truth surrounds you. You become power and power begins to move through your life in ways that make no sense on paper but make perfect sense in spirit. So stop trying to manipulate outcomes. Stop begging for things that don't match your energy. Instead, become the version of you that naturally attracts the life you've been chasing. Clean your energy. Protect it, cultivate it. Because when your being is aligned, everything you've been seeking starts seeking you. You got to train your mind like a soldier trains his body. See, a soldier doesn't wake up one day and just hope to be ready for battle. He doesn't step onto the field with a soft will and a lazy focus. No, he trains, day in, day out. Not just his body, but his instincts, his discipline, his clarity, his mind. Because when the pressure hits, when chaos surrounds him, he doesn't have time to think. He has to be ready. And the same is true for you. Your life will test you. That's a guarantee. You will face pressure, disappointment, distractions. You'll be tempted to give up, to react emotionally, to spiral in self-doubt. But if your mind isn't trained, it will crumble when the moment demands courage. If you haven't built mental strength, you'll talk yourself out of every blessing that's coming your way. That's why the work starts before the test comes. You don't wait until you're in the storm to build the boat. You train your mind in the calm so it can hold the line in the chaos. And that kind of training, it's not glamorous. It's not loud, it's quiet. It's lonely. It's the decision you make to stay focused when everyone else is scrolling. It's the discipline to keep believing when results haven't shown up yet. It's the grit to silence your own excuses and choose growth over comfort. Most people want the reward, but they don't want the routine. They want the crown, but not the combat. But if your mind is flabby, if it's undisciplined, it will sabotage everything your talent builds. That's real. Talent opens the door. Discipline keeps you in the room. And your mind is the first place discipline either lives or dies. You've got to start treating your mind like a muscle. Train it to focus. Train it to resist negative thinking. Train it to choose faith over fear, patience over panic. Vision over distraction. And don't wait until life forces you. Start now. Get intentional. Read, reflect, write, meditate, pray. Say no to things that don't feed your future. Say yes to habits that align with your purpose. And understand, this training never stops. Even the strongest warriors stay sharp. Because one weak moment, one lazy thought can take down a destiny. You might have been through pain, trauma, failure, I get it. But that doesn't disqualify you. That qualifies you. Because pressure builds power. If you lean in, if you use it, if you train through it. So stop waiting to feel motivated. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Build the habit of winning in your mind first. When doubt shows up, counter it. When fear whispers, answer back with truth. When the past tries to pull you under, stand firm in who you're becoming. Speak life. Move forward. Train like your future depends on it, because it does. Every morning you wake up in a war between the version of you that's settling and the version of you that's rising. And the one that wins is the one you've been training for. What you speak reinforces what you think. Your words are not just sounds, they're seeds. Every sentence you speak out loud is watering a belief inside your mind. You might think you're just venting, just being real, just saying how it is, but what you say is shaping what you become. Every time you speak, you're either building your future or tearing it down. People don't realize how powerful their mouth really is. You can think strong, clear, powerful thoughts, but if your mouth keeps repeating fear, negativity, complaints, gossip, defeat, you're canceling out your own growth. You can't think success and speak failure. You can't think faith and speak doubt. You can't think abundance and keep talking about how broke you are. The two won't agree. And guess what? Your mind always listens to your voice. Always. So when you speak, you're reinforcing your mental pattern, whether you mean to or not. Some folks speak defeat like it's a language they grew up on. I never catch a break. Nothing ever works out for me. I guess this is just how life is. No, that's not just commentary, that's prophecy. And the more you say it, the more your subconscious locks it in. Not because it's true, but because you believed it long enough to make it real. Now, this ain't about ignoring reality. This ain't about pretending everything's perfect. It's about learning to speak from vision instead of limitation. It's about saying what you're moving toward, not just what you're stuck in. Because your words set the direction. They give your mind instructions. They say, go here, expect this, prepare for that. And your brain, it's obedient. It follows the orders your mouth gives. You ever wonder why some people walk in the room and everything just seems to work in their favor? It's not luck, it's alignment. They speak in harmony with their purpose. They declare confidence before they feel it. They speak gratitude when there's not much to be thankful for. That's not delusion. That's training. That's spiritual discipline. That's how they stay ready even when life gets loud. And listen, this works both ways. If you keep saying I can't, eventually you won't. If you keep saying it's too late, eventually you'll believe that lie. But if you flip it, if you start saying I'm built for this, something good is coming, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm healing, your mind starts to lean in that direction. Your magnet begins to shift. Your future doesn't just need your effort. It needs your language. Stop cursing what you're trying to bless. Speak life. Speak vision. Speak healing. Even in the middle of pain. Especially in the middle of pain. Because sometimes the words you say in the dark become the bridge to your next light. So start paying attention. Speak like someone who understands the power of their voice. Because your life is echoing your language. And if you don't like the echo, change the sound. The world reflects what's inside you. That's the truth most people run from. Because it's easier to blame everything else. It's easier to point at circumstances, point at people, point at the past. But at some point, you've got to turn the mirror on yourself. Because life isn't just happening to you, it's responding to you, reflecting you. Not always your words, not always your actions, but your inner state, your beliefs, your emotions, your identity. You ever notice how two people can walk into the same situation and come out with two completely different experiences? One sees a challenge, the other sees an opportunity. One gets discouraged, the other gets inspired. Same world, different reflection. Because your life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are on the inside. You carry an inner environment everywhere you go, and it spills out into everything you touch. You could move cities, change jobs, end relationships. But if your inner world is still broken, fearful, bitter, or small, guess what? You'll recreate the same mess wherever you go. Different faces, same cycle, different location, same frustration. because the world has no choice but to reflect you. That's why real transformation starts within. You want a peaceful life? Build peace inside. You want healthy love? Start with self-respect. You want abundance? Shift your mindset from scarcity to worthiness. You don't get those things by chasing them. You get them by becoming the kind of person who attracts and sustains them. Because once you change who you are at the core, the world around you has to catch up. It has to. People spend so much time trying to change the outer picture without ever changing the internal lens. And then they wonder why nothing sticks, why success feels temporary, why relationships keep falling apart. It's because the foundation is off. And the foundation is you, not who you show the world, who you are when it's quiet, who you are when nobody's looking. That's the version of you the world reflects. And here's the good news. You don't have to be perfect to attract better. You just have to be honest. Honest about what you've been carrying. Honest about the pain you haven't faced. Honest about the old beliefs you've outgrown. Because when you start healing the inside, cleaning the inside, upgrading the inside, everything outside starts to shift. Sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. But it shifts. Because the magnet changes. Your energy becomes clearer. Your confidence becomes quieter but stronger. You stop needing validation because you already know who you are. And the world, it starts showing up for that version of you. Opportunities come. People who honor your value come. Peace comes. But it doesn't come to the version of you that's hiding. It comes to the version that's aligned. So if life feels stuck, don't just look outward. Look inward. Ask, what is life showing me about myself right now? And don't run from the answer. Own it. Because once you do, once you take full responsibility for the energy you carry, the beliefs you hold, the identity you walk in, then you unlock real power. Because the world is a mirror. And when you change what's inside, the reflection changes too. Let me leave you with this. Your mind is a magnet. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every belief you carry, it's shaping your reality in ways far deeper than you can see. You're not just walking through life, you're drawing it in. You're calling in people, situations, outcomes, consciously or unconsciously, based on the energy you live in every single day. So now the question isn't, can you attract the life you want? The question is, are you willing to become the kind of person who naturally pulls that life toward you? Because this isn't about hype. This is about responsibility. This is about waking up to the truth that your life, your relationships, your peace, your progress isn't random. It's a reflection of what's been living inside your mind and heart. And if you want better, you don't beg for it. You build it from the inside out. Train your thoughts. Guard your energy. Speak with intention. Carry yourself like the future you say you want is already in motion, because it is. You just have to meet it. You just have to align with it. The world isn't holding anything back from you. It's just waiting for you to become bold enough, clear enough, honest enough to stop attracting from your fears and start attracting from your vision. So take the wheel. Take the power back. Rewire the magnet. And remember this. Your life doesn't change when you wish harder. It changes when you decide to think, speak, and live like the version of you who already knows, I am the magnet, I am the signal, I am the force. Now go attract accordingly.